Auspicious blessing to all Dharma friends. Welcome to Fo Guangshan English Dharma Services channel. This is You Deng from Dongzhen Buddhist College, Malaysia. The topic I want to share today is the questions of King Milinda. It is also known as Milinda Panha in Pali Canon, Bhikkhu Nagasena Sutra in Chinese Canon. It is a record of the dialogues between the Buddhist monk Nagasena and the Greco-Bactrian king Milinda, who ruled the region that is in the present-day eastern Afghanistan, northern Pakistan, and India in the latter half of the 2nd century before Common Era. The questions put by King Milinda to the Bhikkhu Nagasena cover a wide range of subjects, such as the nature of self, wisdom and desire, transmigration, karma, the Buddha as a historical figure, the Buddhist order, the qualifications of monks, the respective roles of monks and lay people, and nirvana. This work is valued as one of the first recorded encounters between Hellenistic and Buddhist thought and culture. It states that King Milinda dedicated a monastery to Bhikkhu Nagasena and abdicated the throne in favor of his son, then entering the Buddhist order and eventually attained the state of Arahat. First of all, I will walk you through the brief background and related history of this sutra. It is believed that Milinda Panha was initially written in Gandhara language, Kharosthi script, during between 100 BCE and 200 CE. According to the scholar Thomas Rhys Davies, this is undoubtedly the masterpiece of classical Indian prose from literary point of view, which had been produced in any country. The conversation between King Milinda and Bhikkhu Nagasena possibly took place in Sakala or Taxila. Coins of King Milinda are found all around Gandhara archaeological site from today. Where is Sakala in present day? Sialkot in present day is believed to be the site of ancient Sakala, a city raised by Alexander the Great in 326 BCE, and then made capital of the Indo-Great Kingdom by Milinda in about 160 to 130 BCE, a time during which the city greatly prospered as a major center for trade and Buddhism. Where is Sialkot? In Pakistan in the present day. Why Pakistan? Let's walk through the history of Buddhism briefly. Dear friends, actually, Buddhism in Pakistan took root some 2,300 years ago under the Maurya Empire, King Ashoka. He sent missionaries around his empire, including Kashmir Gandhara region of northwest Pakistan, extending to eastern Afghanistan, following the third Buddhist council in Pataliputra. In present day, it is in India. The decline of Mauryan Empire left Gandhara open to Greco-Bactrian invasions. The king of Indo-Great Kingdom, Milinda, who was the most important of those great kings who continued in Bactria, the dominion found by Alexander the Great. He became a Buddhist and is remembered in Buddhist records for his discussion with the great Buddhist philosopher Nagasena in the book Milinda Panha. Then the Gusan Empire under King Kanishka, from its capital at Purusapara, this is Peshawar in present day in Pakistan, India, expanded to Central Asia. As a consequence, cultural exchanges greatly increased with the regions of Kashgar, Khotan, and Yakhan. Under the King Kanishka, Gandhara became a holy land of Buddhism and attracted Chinese pilgrims eager to view the monuments associated with many Jatakas. In Gandhara, Mahayana Buddhism flourished and Buddha was represented in human form. Under Kusan's new Buddhist stupas were built and old ones were enlarged. Buddhism entered China via the Silk Route. Buddhist monks traveled with merchant caravans on the Silk Route to preach the Dharma. Why was this route called Silk Route? Because the lucrative Chinese silk trade along this trade route began during the Han Dynasty. Direct contact between Central Asian and Chinese Buddhism continued throughout the 3rd to 7th centuries, much into Tang period. From the 4th century onwards, Chinese pilgrims like Fa Xian and later Xuanzang started to travel to India in order to get improved access to original scriptures. Master Fa Xian and Xuanzang walked through the Gandhara region, including Pakistan and Afghanistan. Pakistan is an important country of Silk Route. It was the channels of the Silk Route, Gandhara, that spread Buddhism from its lands of Pakistan to Central Asia, China, and Far East. Here is the cradle of Mahayana Buddhism as well. According to the scholars, the first Buddha statue was found here, and the first Mahayana Sutra in written form was produced here. The famous archaeologist Sir Orelstein found the oldest Buddhist scripture in the world in Gilgit. And the scholars agree that it was the most venerated Mahayana Prajnaparamita Sutra of the Buddhists. Now, let me share the video of some important archaeological sites in Taxila that I visited in March this year.
Taxila was the main center of Gandhara, has for centuries been an abode of peace and knowledge. The city once flourished as the hub of Buddhism and a great center of learning. Dharmarajika Stupa was built by the Maurya Emperor Ashoka in 268 to 232 BCE to house the relics of the Buddha. It is located 3 kilometers east of Taxila Museum. It is one of the 8 shrines and considered to be the earliest Buddhist monument in Pakistan. Besides stupa, it also has a monastic area located in the north. The partially ruined stupa was once coated with lime plaster and gilding. The 7-tier umbrella stone crowned the top of the stupa, while the main monastery and the series of annexing chapels were inhabited by monks. Findings from the site included a wealth of silver and gold coins, gems, jewelry, and other antiques. It reached the heights of size and fame in the 2nd century CE. Early monastic cells near the stupa were built as a row of rooms, with a veranda. The northern monastery consisted of 2 courtyards that were each built around a large stupa. Jalyan was built by the Kushans in the 2nd century CE and ancient Buddhist university in the world. It is located in Haripur district. Jalyan comprised of several erections consisting of 2 main parts, first the main stupa, second the monastery and the University of Jalyan. It was believed that Master Faxian had stayed here for 6 years and Master Xinchuan stayed for 2 years. The main stupa is comprised of 21 votive stupas, and some of the stupas are believed to be tombs of revered monks. The monastery consists of a 28 students' rooms, a stone staircase for 2nd-floor rooms with the same setting. Morado is another well-preserved monastery located between Sirkap and Jialyan. It was built by the Kushans in the 2nd century CE around the same time as the nearby Jialyan. It was heavily damaged for treasure and the main stupa was split apart. However, the lower portion was protected. The monastery consists of 27 rooms for the students and the teachers, built around a courtyard with a pool. The large, square-shaped pool contained water for ritual washings and was about half a meter deep. Stairs to the pool were present on all sides. The monastery also contained a kitchen and a well for water that still functions today. The rainwater was collected into the pool from the roof of the monastery over wooden extensions. Statues of Buddha are found abundantly in the courtyard and the rooms for the students. An assembly hall is also present in one corner of the monastery. The monastery was a double-story building. Stairs to the upper story went through one of the rooms. There was additional connection through wooden constructions from the courtyard. Jehanabad Buddha. On the way from Taxila to Swat Valley, when we were approaching the remaining site of the Jehanabad Buddha, we were greeted by a vast forest of peach blossom tress that were blooming beautifully. Jehanabad Buddha was built in the 6th to 7th centuries. It was carved along the rocks of the mountains. It heights about 7 meters, and it has a unique design. Aside of the Bamiyan Buddha of Afghanistan, Jehanabad Buddha is also one of the most important Buddha statues in the South Asia region. Thank you for listening. Let us join our palms and redirect the joy and merits from this session. To all sentient beings, may all be well and happy.
Once again, thank you for joining us. If you find this Dharma service is helpful in your practice, please subscribe to the Fo Guang English Dharma Services YouTube channel and share it to your friends. See you next week. Amitofo.